And looking forward to tomorrow night. I think the family and I are going to go to a Good Friday service. So I'm looking forward to it. Lord willing, there'll be a lot of people that come in to visit churches this weekend and hear a clear, straightforward gospel presentation and repent and believe. That's what we'd love to see. And that's exciting. I think I love the way God has designed life, and he gives us these days that really get people's attention that are not Christians, and they're used to remind people that God is there. You know, the thing with God in general is all of creation, of course, bears witness to his existence. And then I think that all of life, all parts of life, Larry Sullivan, what a treat. All of life is good to see you, Larry. I need to give you a ring. And all of life is all parts of life, birth, everything from birth to death are there to remind us of God's presence and really to provoke us to seek him. I don't think there's really anything in life that doesn't provoke us to seek the Lord. In a sense, even when we sin or convicted, that's just provoking. That provokes us to seek the Lord. So I'm making some general comments here, but so this weekend is one of those weekends. So Lord willing, there'll be a lot of people roll in the church, even Larry Sullivan's church in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That'd be fun, wouldn't it, Larry? Come down there and hear the gospel from Larry Sullivan coming up. That'd be a lot of fun. So just share a couple things today as we wrap it up. The first NFL draft is in a couple of weeks. See, now this is what happens. Larry, come on, brother. You disappear from me. I can't help it because you would rather do other things than go to New Orleans with us. We missed you down there. We missed you. This weekend, NFL draft. NFL draft starting the 28th, a couple of weeks from today, 2 weeks from today, I believe. Still got a couple spots. I think we reserved 5 rooms there at the Motel 6 in Las Vegas. And so got a room left, I believe. So love to have somebody come out and join us. Larry, come out and join us in Las Vegas. Hey, listen, there are a lot of people out there. It's going to be an NFL draft. You know what happens to all these Alabama fans? I'm sure they just watch with all of their enthusiasm and see which of the well, they probably don't know. Alabama fans, they don't care about the pros, and they don't care which of the Alabama players got drafted. Maybe Nick Saban does because it helps with the recruiting. But anyway, there should be 600,000 people coming into Vegas in general. That's what I heard. And there's already a ton of people on the sidewalks out there. So if you want to preach for 3 days straight, 8 hours a day, you come out to Las Vegas. It's anyway, if you're out there, come join us. It's just going to be 3 long days. We're going to get up in the morning and pray for an hour. There's a local church letting us use their facility. And then we'll get over to Las Vegas Boulevard and start preaching. So I've said many times, you know, the powers that be are turning Vegas into a destination. Someone told me for families, and then for sports, a Super Bowl will be there in a couple of years. And so we're going to be out there several times in the next couple of years. And so I would encourage you to get this city on your map and see it as a good place to go and evangelize. And just even, of course, when we're not there, you can go anytime to preach. There's so many people out there on the sidewalks all the time. So check it out. Come join us at the draft. Should be a lot of fun. Excuse me. Those itches. Anyway, and then the Derby, praise the Lord. There's 26 guys going to the Derby already. That's tremendous. And it's basically full. I think we got a couple extra cots for shipping in. So if you want to go to the Derby, then register. If you've already attended an event, a sports fan event, then just send an email to info@sfoi.org and say you want to go to the Derby or the draft for that matter, and join Bobby McCrary. Bobby's leading it with all the other guys, 25 other guys at Pastor Paul Matheny's church there, Beachmont Baptist Church. So it's all coming together. So if you're close and want to join those guys at the Derby, Larry, and then sign up and join them there. If you're close to Vegas, and come out and join me out there just the weekend before. So it's lots of opportunity. We've had a really good year. I think the Lord's really working in our midst. I think the one thing I've noticed, and this is meant to be encouraging, is that you can be overtaken by the social media air wars. But what we learned at the Super Bowl, and have really seen since then all year, is that on the ground things are different. On the ground, people are just like they've always been. And so we just don't let the social media air wars discourage you from coming out and joining up and preaching the gospel. I really want to emphasize that point. Don't let the media, that's what they want to do. They want you to They want you to hide in the house and keep the news tuned in and see what the latest, pronouncement is. But don't do that, man. Come out there and preach the gospel. People are just like they've been. And as I've said before, we prayed this morning with some folks that, listen, I know this is not a biblical way to say it, but the world is crying out, in essence, for us to be there. There's such darkness and such depravity and so forth. If that's not a sign that to take the light into the dark, or life into the death, into the graveyard of sin, then I don't know what else you want to see. Honestly, I have no idea what else you need to see to be motivated to get out there and do it. And I think I heard a story. He was telling me that story the other day. Oh, wow. Here's so many stories when you do this kind of work, but they were talking about Ireland, I think, how the church had basically over there voted to, support, quote, gay marriage. And somebody who was, quote, gay had written a story or sent a message to the church and said, I was disappointed the church didn't stand up for righteousness, basically. I think the point of that story is I think that we'd be surprised at what the world wants. And this doesn't guarantee believing or faith, is they want us to be what we are. And they want to see and hear the gospel. They need it. That's the way life has been created. You learn that with children, that if you don't have children, you'll learn it. If you have children, you know this already, but children need boundaries set. And that's one reason children act out and do what they do. And if you don't set boundaries, then they're going to run wild. And boundaries have not been set for the nation, and they're running wild. It's kind of that simple. And we need to go out there and reestablish some boundaries. It's not too late. It's not too late, friends. So get out there. Let's join us to preach in Vegas at the draft, or in Louisville for the Derby. And then Hearts for the Lost, May 14th. You see that evangelism conference. Brian Nine, who lives in Indianapolis, is working with Hearts for the Lost. And they're hosting this one-day evangelism training. Noblesville, Indiana is a suburb of Indianapolis. And so check it out. The link is on the bottom of this, however this shows on all these pages. But check it out. Take some people with you. If you are in the Indianapolis area, take people with you. We're evangelists. We need to learn to invite people to go places. This is not about us being a one-man band. This is about inviting people. And I know Larry knows that well. And we all know the great euphoria of disappointment when people say they're going to do something and don't show. You got to keep at it, man. You just got to keep asking. However you rejuvenate yourself and re-energize yourself to keep asking, you just have to sort of get after it and do that. But Brian Nine, those guys do a good job in Indianapolis. He preached to the Colts game, and we've been up there preaching together a couple times for the Big Ten championship this fall and the college football championship in January. Brian does a good job, and so he's a good guy to connect with up there. So get up with him and take people to that training. And then the Whitefield training, June 20 to 24. The Whitefield training is sort of settled down here to be really two parts. One is the expository preacher training, which Heath Putzel is the instructor of that. And we're calling that Keep Your Finger in the Text. Larry Sullivan's been a part of that as well. And they're doing Taking Reps class now. So this year, the book is Proverbs. Proverbs is what Heath is teaching at the Whitefield training. So that's one, what we call a track. The other track is what I teach, which basically is kind of living the Christian evangelist life. So that consists of three things. I kind of make three. One is ministry partner development, or just good old-fashioned fundraising. Two is, how does our work as an evangelist fit into the Great Commission? And three, we might say managing or interacting or learning about all the relationships in our life once we become an evangelist, because they're going to change. They are going to change. Unless you're evangelizing already and you are out preaching all the time now, your life is going to change substantially. But that's kind of counting the cost. When you make that move, you reorient your schedule, your family comes with you. It reorients your life, and that's the thing that really trips us up, is how that process does not unfold. And you want to lead it and guide it through the process of unfolding into the new realm when you're preaching full time. So that's what we talk about there, those three things. So it should be a good time. June 2024 up here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Come and join us as well. There's one more thing I want to see if it's still the Flyers on here. I want to talk about. Hang on 1 second. I can't get it on here. Is the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England, June the 28th of July through the 8th of August. Birmingham, England. I'm going to see if I can put that on there. There we go. That'll work. We want to see. We're going back to United Kingdom. That's exciting because that means the walls are down and we can go. I've not been to Birmingham before, but Birmingham I think is the second biggest, third biggest city in the country. And that should be a lot of fun, a lot of opportunity. So there's 3 of us going so far. Jerry Collins, Rich Leplete, and myself. We've got room for 8 guys to be there. I'm trying to recruit men from the UK as well, and so come and join us over there. We can get in. And then one more thing, I'm going to say this is the Sportsman Outreach. We are a registered charity of the United Kingdom, and we're working on becoming that in Canada, Lord willing. And the Grey Cup is the Super Bowl of the Canadian Football League. So we're getting ahead of the curve for once here, ahead of the schedule. And so the Grey Cup is November 16 to 20 in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. And that's really sort of above North Dakota over in that direction. And so pray about coming up. Get out your Super Bowl 18 Minneapolis gear, and let's go to Regina and preach for 4 or 5 days, Wednesday through Sunday. Michael Rutherford up there, we've met through social media, who's friends with Bob McCreary and some other guys. He's working hard to recruit some guys to have us up there. So I think it's going to be a good time. And we're willing by the time we go, all the vaccine mandates and all that stuff in Canada will disappear. And so that should be a really good time as well. So get that on your calendar as well for a long-term view. If you got any questions, contact me. Let me know about come join us in Vegas or in Louisville for the Derby. All right, friends, I think that's it today. Maybe hear from you tomorrow. We'll see what happens. You guys have a great night. See you. Bye-bye.